Guys, this is one of the strongest, most powerful tricks that you can do with a borrowed, shuffled deck of cards. Anytime, anywhere, no setup, and it will even fool most magicians. So, check this out. Spectator mixes the cards. They can do any shuffle. They do an overhand shuffle. They can do a riffle shuffle. They can do a perfect faro shuffle. Probably not, but they can do it if they want to. So, cards are mixed up. And then I'm going to remove a prediction. So let's see what we get here. I'm going to go with this one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with my first intuition here. So I'm going to go with this card, and we're going to get back to this in a second. But first of all, cards are going to be mixed up like this. The spectator can mix the cards. They can give the cards cuts, whatever they want to do. And then we want to make this impossible. So we're going to deal with an unknown number of cards. So the spectator now can cut any number of cards from this. So let's say they cut that many. Great. And now you have an unknown number of cards here. So you say to the spectator, okay, what I'd like you to do is you're going to deal the cards out into like 3 poker hands like this, or three hands. And so you give them the cards and they start to deal the cards out. So bearing in mind, they've shuffled the cards before you've started. Okay, they've been cutting the cards, they've been mixing the cards, and now they are dealing the cards. So they're pretty much doing everything. And this is an unknown number of cards. So we don't know how many cards we're working with here, which makes this unbelievable. So we have these 3 packets of cards, and we're going to see if the spectator cut to a high card. So let's see. A king, that's pretty good. King's a very good card. We've got 10 and a 4. Okay, not bad. 10's okay. And then we've got a jack. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. But let's see if we can go one stage further than this. So for the first time, we'll have a look at the prediction card. Now this is a 5. What we're going to do is we're going to spell out the name of this card, 5 of spades, and each one of the packets will represent one of those words. So you say to the spectator, we're going to start with 5. You can choose any packet that you can spell the word 5 with. So they have a free choice. Let's say they go with this packet here. So they spell out 5, that's F-I-V-E, and these are placed aside. Next, we're going to go with of, so either of the 2 remaining packets. Let's say they go with this one, so O-F. This is placed aside, and then finally, spades leaves the center packet, S-P-A-D-E-S. Now remember, we're working with a shuffle deck of cards, an unknown number of cards, and the spectator could have chose either way to spell 5 of spades. But now we're going to give these cards a magic shuffle. Now, the magic shuffle is a great way to cheat at cards, and I'll show you why in just a second, but each one of these packets is given a magic shuffle, and I don't know why this works. It works every single time, but even the cards have been shuffled, cut, and dealt by the spectator, we end up with the 4 5s, a perfect 4 of a kind, from a shuffled deck. Come on guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back. So this week, pretty special, a 4 of a kind production from a borrowed, shuffled deck of cards. I think this is insanely good, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. It's the kind of thing that you're gonna do anytime, anywhere. Borrow a deck, blow someone's mind. It's awesome. If you like the trick, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not already, because we do tricks just like this every single week. And if you've got any ideas or comments on the trick, drop them in the comments section down below. I will do my best to get back to you. I try and reply to every single comment that I get here on the channel, and it's always nice to hear from you. If you like card tricks like this, self-working card tricks that don't need any sleight of hand, then I do have a full course. I've literally taken the best of the best card tricks in the world that don't need any sleight of hand. I've put them all together into one sort of best of collection, and it's been getting rave reviews. So if you want to sign up for that, I'm going to pop a link over here. I'll pop a link down in the description down below. Follow it, sign up, and I'll see you in the course. But right now, I'm going to get into the explanation for this one. Grab a deck of cards. Let's get into it. Alright guys, don't forget, if you like this, and I think you do, then hit the like button, because this is a 4 of a kind from a borrowed shuffle deck of cards. I've taken all the sleight of hand away, and the setup for this is awesome. You do it right in front of the audience without them having any idea. So the spectator can shuffle the cards. They give them a really, really good mix, like this. And then when you get the cards back, you're going to look at the bottom card, and that's going to tell you the 4 of a kind that you're going to go for. So here I have a 10, so I know now I'm going to be looking for the 10s. What you're going to do is you say to the spectator, we're going to remove a prediction card, and I'm spreading through the cards. When I get to the next 10, I'm going to up jog it like that, okay? But then I act a little indecisive and I carry on spreading as if I'm changing my mind a little bit, and I may be thinking, oh, well, maybe I'll go with this card. and you up jog the next 10, like this. Then you continue spreading as if you're not sure, you're just trying to decide on a prediction card, and you come to your next 10. So now we've got all 4 10s out, right? We've got the one at the face, we've got the 2 up jogged, and we've got 1 here. You're going to break the packet here, so you've got the 10 on the face of this packet in your left hand. All you're going to do is you're going to lift your hand up like this, and you're going to pull off these 2 10s, just get your thumb on them and pull them off onto this packet, then come back. You're going to take this 10 and put it on the table over here like that, and you say, that's my prediction. Now naturally what you can do here is these cards are going to go down on the table, these cards will go on top, and in one motion, without changing the position of any card, you've apparently just removed a prediction card, but actually you've now positioned the matching 3 10s on the bottom of the deck. So it's a really, really smooth and efficient way to do it. It's done in a split second. So now you can get the spectator to mix these cards if they want, and you're going to do that by directing them through the J-O-Z cuts. You say, oh, give the cards to them, and you say, why don't you cut a card, cut a group of cards, maybe a third of the deck to the left over here, and you say, cut the next group, another third to the middle. They do that, and then the next third over here, like so, and then you get them to gather the cards up from left to right, and that's a false cut. So in other words, they get the impression they've cut the cards thoroughly, but your 3 10s are still on the bottom of the pack, like so. Now you say we're going to use an unknown number of cards, so you're going to get the spectator to cut a random number of cards off the top. Now you say somewhere above half, and that'll give you the right number of cards later. If they end up with a diamond, and you'll see what I mean later, you'll be able to spell the word diamond. So say somewhere above half, just a random number of cards. So they'll cut a number of cards like this and put them off to the side and just discard them. So now you say, we're working with an unknown number of cards here. That's not important, but you make it seem like it is. It's misdirection, baby. You have them gather up these cards like so, and you explain you're going to deal the cards into 3 piles like this, and you deal out 1, 2, 3 from the top of the deck from left to right, okay? But this is important because now you're going to take these cards and you're going to put them on the bottom of the deck. And this is now just placing 3 cards above your setup here. And this is the bit that is going to allow you to throw magicians off later. So now you give the cards to the spectator and you have them deal the cards out into 3 piles. So they do this, like so. And again, while they're doing this, you can remind them that, look, you shuffle the cards before we started. This is an unknown number of cards, so we don't know how these cards are going to end up. And we're going to check to see when you've dealt the cards out if you've cut to any high cards. So spectator finishes dealing like so. Now this is the bit that fools magicians, because usually at this, like with this kind of trick, you've normally now positioned the cards to be either at the top or the bottom of the deck. But here you're going to use the guise of saying to the spectator, let's see if you cut to any high cards, to completely throw them off. So now you're actually showing, right, that there's no matching cards here without saying it. So you're going to say, oh, let's see if you cut to a high card. And you take the top card off and you just turn both packets over. You say, oh, queen, that's great. Put this back where it was, like so. And then again, do the same with the next packet, like so. You say, oh, you cut to a jack, awesome. And you put this back on top. And then you show this packet, okay, an ace, that's a really good card. And you put this back on top. And what you've just shown is that there are no matching cards on the top or the bottom of the deck. So this is going to throw magicians off as well. So now you say, we'll take a look at this card for the first time. This is the 10 of clubs. We're going to spell out the word 10 of clubs, and you can actually choose what packet spells what word. So they have a free choice here. So you ask them which packet is going to be 10. Let's say they choose this one, and all you do is from the top of the deck, you spell out the word 10. That's T-E-N, okay? And then you discard these are put aside. Then 2 remaining packets, which packet is going to be of, doesn't matter. So let's say they choose this one, O-F, and put the rest aside. And then clubs has to be this packet, C-L-U-B-S. And again, they can choose any packet in any order, it doesn't matter, because what you've essentially done is you've now got the matching 10s second from the bottom of each of these packets. So all we're going to do now is we're going to do a little reverse faro to position the 10s, and we are done. So a reverse faro is this. If I start with this one, you're just going to up jog every second card. So we go there, up jog, come back down. And then you want to watch where the bottom card is, the very last card. You want to make sure that that packet that contains the bottom card is put on top of the other packet, like that, okay? So just like that, and that will then position your 10 on the bottom of the deck. It's probably gonna look a little bit better with this one because we've got a few more cards. So again, you're gonna up jog every second card. That's the second, the fourth, and this. Now remember, I'm watching where this bottom card goes, and that packet that contains the bottom card, that's the packet I'm gonna put on top of the other packet, like so. And then again here, final packet, again, we're gonna do the same thing, and that is the bottom card. So we make sure that goes on top, and that is it. So the Magic Shuffle, you turn these over and you get the 4 of a kind, the 4 matching 10s from a shuffled deck that the spectator has cut and dealt themselves. Guys, if you like the trick, hit the like button. If you've got any comments or questions, drop them down below. If you've not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single week. And if you want to check out another video just as cool as this, I'm going to pop it on the screen right now. Follow that and you're going to have a whole routine. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you in the next video.